It was a bitter night, and it reeked of rotting floorboards and old furniture. Why Ben, her boyfriend, had invited Sarah to stay at this secluded house in the forest was a wonder to her. She looked around at her room that she'd be sharing with Ben. It looked dishevelled, just like all the other rooms of the house. Well, at least the floorboards were intact, unlike the third stair from the top of the staircase. In the darkness, dusty photos of Ben's past girlfriends sat on the shelves. As she took a step towards the door, suddenly, a weak female voice resonated throughout the room. "Help! Please help us!" murmured the unknown voice, but she could see no one, and absolute silence followed. She dismissed it as a figment of her imagination. "I have to tell Ben," she thought. "Ben," she tried to call, but he didn't respond. She thought of calling him on his phone, but then she thought otherwise. He could be so dismissive and quiet sometimes. She decided to go downstairs to check on him. Just before she reached the staircase, she heard a phone ring from the room. Not her phone, but it was an old phone she had thought was useless. She walked over to it. The ringing of the phone continued for what seemed like a lifetime. She picked up the phone. "Hello?" she whispered cautiously. Probably just a malfunction, she thought, but as she was lowering the phone, she heard an unpleasant voice. "Hello, Sarah," it said. "Who's this?" she whispered affrightedly. "Oh, never mind that," the voice hissed. "How do you feel about my house?" "What do you want from me? You're freaking me out," Sarah exclaimed. "You'll be here for a little while, so I want you to meet my friends," mocked the voice. "No, I'm not talking to you, stranger. Go away," she screamed. "Don't call this phone again." She slammed the phone into its holster. While panting, she turned it to walk out of the room when her own cell phone rang. The screen said, "Unknown number." Expecting it to be some telemarketer, she decided to let it ring on. The ringing, however, did not cease. It kept ringing on and on. Finally, she gathered up the courage to answer it. "Hello?" she asked. "Listen here, girl," growled the same creepy voice as on the old phone. "This is my house you're staying in, so you better listen to me when I talk to you." "That's a lie," insisted Sarah. "This is Ben's house." "Oh, you'll see about that," the voice added, hanging up. Extremely frightened, Sarah ventured downstairs to find Ben, careful to skip the third step from the top. She noticed that Ben's phone lay on the floor. "Good evening, Sarah," said a silhouette from the entrance, with the same creepy voice, but she noticed a peculiar familiarity. Terrified by the unexpected voice, Sarah screamed and ran up the stairs, trying to escape from the stranger. Crack! No! Just as she reached the top of the stairs, she fell right into where the third stair from the top should be, and fell a far way down, deep underground. As the man ascended the stairs and looked down through the open section, he mumbled, "Meet my past lovers, and welcome to my house." Sarah looked up to see the face of this stranger, just before the floorboard was sealed, and saw something familiar. It was Ben.